At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu. With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Pope Leo held his first ordinary public consistory on Friday morning, marking a significant milestone in his young papacy. During this formal ceremony, cardinals provided their official approval for the canonizations of 8 blessed individuals, setting the stage for these holy men and women to be elevated to sainthood. The most anticipated announcement concerned 2 young blessed men who have captured the devotion of Catholics worldwide. Pope Leo declared that Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati and Blessed Carlo Acutis will be canonized together on September 7th. This joint canonization brings together 2 extraordinary young people from different eras, one from the early 20th century and the other representing the first saint of the 21st century. This is white smoke. The canonizations of these 2 blessed individuals had been eagerly awaited by the faithful, who have developed tremendous devotion to both men, despite their separation by nearly a century. Their joint elevation to sainthood represents Pope Leo's recognition of their shared commitment to Christ and their remarkable ability to inspire love for God in everyone whose lives they touched. These canonizations were originally announced by the late Pope Francis during a general audience on November 20th, 2024. That announcement prompted thunderous applause from crowds gathered in St. Peter's Square, demonstrating the widespread enthusiasm for recognizing these 2 blessed men as saints. The timing of these canonizations had been affected by the papal transition. Blessed Carlo Acutis' canonization had initially been scheduled for April 27th, the second Sunday of Easter, to coincide with the Jubilee of Teenagers. Meanwhile, Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati's canonization was set for August 3rd, marking the culmination of the Jubilee for Youth. However, the death of Pope Francis on April 21st led to the postponement of Blessed Carlo's canonization, and many assumed that Blessed Pier Giorgio's ceremony would also be delayed. Friday's announcement by Pope Leo resolved these uncertainties, confirming his commitment to honouring both young men in a single ceremony. Blessed Carlo Acutis, who was beatified in Assisi on October 10, 2020, represents a unique figure in Catholic history as someone who embraced technology and modern communication methods to spread his faith. His path to sainthood demonstrates how contemporary young people can achieve holiness while fully engaged with modern life. Pope Leo also announced the October canonization dates for 7 other blessed individuals, creating what will be a remarkable celebration of diverse forms of Catholic sanctity. Among these is Armenian Catholic Archbishop Ignatius Shukrala Maloyan, who died in 1915 during the Armenian genocide in the Ottoman Empire. His martyrdom represents the countless Christians who have suffered persecution for their faith throughout history. Another significant figure scheduled for canonization is Peter Tarot, a lay catechist who was martyred in 1945 for continuing his religious work despite bans imposed by Japanese occupying forces. Blessed Peter's elevation to sainthood will make him the first canonized saint from Papua New Guinea, bringing recognition to the Catholic Church's global reach and the heroic faith found in every corner of the world. 3 religious women will also join the ranks of the canonized saints in October. Vincenza Maria Poloni, founder of the Institute of the Sisters of Mercy of Verona, dedicated her life to serving those in need through organized religious community. Maria del Monte Carmelo Rendiles, originally named Carmen Elena Rendiles Martinez, came from Venezuela and founded the Congregation of the Servants of Jesus, demonstrating how Latin American Catholics have contributed significantly to the Church's mission. Maria Troncati, a professed religious of the Daughters of Mary, Help of Christians, represents the countless women religious who have served the Church through education, healthcare, and spiritual guidance. Her canonization acknowledges the vital role that women religious have played throughout Catholic history. 2 laymen will also be enrolled among the saints, showing that holiness is not limited to clergy or religious orders. Bartolo Longo, founder of the famous Marian Shrine at Pompeii, transformed from a troubled young man into a devoted promoter of Marian devotion, particularly through the Rosary. His shrine continues to draw millions of pilgrims seeking the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. José Gregorio Hernández Cisneros, a Venezuelan doctor and member of the secular Franciscan order, earned recognition as the Doctor of the Poor through his medical practice. He not only treated patients regardless of their ability to pay, but often purchased medications for those who could not afford them. His example demonstrates how professional life can become a pathway to sanctity when guided by Christian charity. These upcoming canonizations reflect Pope Leo's commitment to recognizing diverse forms of holiness across different centuries, continents, and vocations. The selection includes martyrs, founders of religious congregations, laypeople, clergy, and religious, showing that sainthood can be achieved through various paths of faithful service. If you'd like to learn more about Carlo Acutis, we covered him in an episode on April 15th to align with his original canonization date. That episode is labelled number 15 if you're scrolling down the feed. In episode 16 on April 27th, we covered the process of choosing saints and took a look at some other possible candidates. Pope Leo has announced his intention to revive a sacred tradition that began under St. John Paul II in 1983. The Pope will personally place the pallium around the shoulders of recently appointed archbishops, marking a return to a practice that had been modified during the previous papacy. The pallium represents one of the most significant liturgical vestments in the Catholic Church. This 3-inch wide woolen band features 14-inch strips that hang down both the front and back of the wearer. The vestment carries profound symbolic meaning, representing both unity with the Pope and commitment to serve God's people. Metropolitan archbishops, who are residential archbishops presiding over ecclesiastical provinces, wear the pallium when celebrating Mass within their provinces. The Office for the Liturgical Celebrations of the Supreme Pontiff issued a formal notification on June 11th announcing that Pope Leo will preside over the Eucharistic celebration on June 29th, the Feast of Saints Peter and Paul. During this ceremony, the Pope will bless the palliums and personally impose them on the new metropolitan archbishops. This announcement represents a significant change from the practice instituted by Pope Francis in 2015. Under the previous system, newly appointed archbishops would concelebrate Mass with the Pope and be present for the blessing of the palliums as a demonstration of their bond of unity and communion with him. However, the actual placement of the pallium would occur later in the archbishop's own archdiocese, surrounded by his faithful and bishops from neighbouring dioceses. The papal representative, known as the nuncio, would perform the actual imposition of the pallium. Pope Leo's decision to personally impose the palliums marks a return to the earlier tradition established by St. John Paul II, though Archbishop Diego Ravelli, the current master of papal ceremonies, has not provided specific reasons for this change in practice. The Code of Canon Law establishes clear requirements regarding the pallium. All metropolitan archbishops must request a pallium from the Pope within 3 months of their appointment or consecration. The law states that the pallium signifies the power which the metropolitan archbishop possesses by law in his own province, always in communion with the Roman Church. Several American archbishops are scheduled to receive palliums during this year's ceremony. Cardinal Robert McElroy of Washington will be among the recipients, along with Archbishop Sean McKnight of Kansas City, Kansas, and Archbishop Michael McGovern of Omaha, Nebraska. Archbishop Robert Casey of Cincinnati and Archbishop Joe Vasquez of Galveston, Houston will also receive their palliums during the ceremony. The change implemented by Pope Francis in 2015 was designed to better highlight the relationship between metropolitan archbishops and their local churches. Monsignor Guido Marini, who served as Master of Papal Liturgical Ceremonies at the time, explained that conducting the pallium imposition in the Archbishop's home diocese would give more faithful the opportunity to witness this significant rite. Pope Leo's decision to return to the earlier practice suggests a different pastoral emphasis, focusing on the unity of archbishops with the papal office and their collective participation in the Universal Church's mission. The ceremony at St. Peter's Basilica provides a powerful visual representation of this unity, as archbishops from around the world gather in the heart of the Catholic Church to receive their palliums directly from the Pope's hands. The timing of the ceremony on the feast of Saints Peter and Paul carries additional significance. This celebration honors the two apostles who are considered the foundation of the Church in Rome, with Peter serving as the first pope and Paul as the great missionary to the Gentiles. The connection between this feast and the pallium ceremony reinforces the apostolic succession and the continuity of episcopal authority from the earliest days of Christianity.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper, and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
When the world's most powerful people go to war, we can't look away. Welcome to Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback, the podcast tracking the explosive conflicts shaping our world right now. Presidential administrations fracturing, tech billionaires threatening government leaders, entertainment titans destroying partnerships with single social media posts. These aren't just headlines. They're windows into how power really works. We deliver daily episodes when news explodes, weekly deep dives for perspective. From Washington power struggles to Silicon Valley vendettas, we decode the psychology behind the drama and reveal why these feuds matter far beyond entertainment. Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. Today's conflicts are tomorrow's history. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Want this podcast without commercial interruptions or feed drops? Calaroga Plus is just $5 a month, and you'll get this show ad-free. Plus, we've just added the full first seasons of Eastwood Reloaded and Crown and Controversy, so you can binge listen our new series without a single interruption. Calaroga Plus gives you Palace Intrigue, 5 good news stories, daily comedy news, 5 daily trivia questions, and all the other shows on the Calaroga Shark Media Network, totally ad-free. For just $5 a month, it's the best deal going. Apple Podcast users can even get a 30-day free trial by clicking the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening. If you're on any other app, head to calaroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes. Don't wait. Get your uninterrupted content now. Apple Podcast users click that banner that says Uninterrupted Listening. If you're on any other app, head to calaroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes.